Hi everybody, this is Roy Bhandari with TalkCondo.com, and today we are at the amazing sales office for Sugar Wharf Condos, and I'm joined today by Johnson Cheng, the president of Cornerstone Marketing and sales manager for Sugar Wharf. So Johnson, thank you very much for joining.
Awesome, thank you, Roy.
No problem. So Sugar Wharf Condos, everybody's talking about it in the investor community, and there's a lot of reasons why. We've sort of narrowed it down to sort of 3 or 4 key pillars that we're really excited about this project. And I want you to give us an overview of all of those. The first pillar is Menke's development.
That is by far the most important thing.
Always the most
important. Builder.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about pre-construction. So who do you place the trust of, the confidence? Who are you entrusting the future with? That's important. So let's talk about Menke's. Menke's have been in the business for over 65 years, family-held business, and they truly are what we call the visionary master plan builder.
For sure.
Where we're located right now in sales office in North York, they, not single-handedly, but they play a very, very vital, instrumental role in creating over 5,000 homes here and over 2 million square feet of office space. And over 30 years ago, when North York wasn't really much, they had a vision. They knew that there was a need for another corridor of business, activities, and residential condominiums for a lot of people to call homes to. And true enough, after 30 years, in all its glory, we see the North York corridor where it is right now. Another example is the South Financial Core.
Which is one of the most important ones, most recently with Harbor Plaza.
Exactly. I mean, back over 12 years ago, there was nothing there except empty parking lots.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of developers were afraid to go south of the tracks and pass the Union Station and say, that's the point of no return. No one will ever want to be there. That's no man's land. But what Menke's have done is that they have been able to demonstrate to the entire city that when you have a vision, people will follow. So they actually were the first to develop a project that we now know as the Telus House, 25 York.
Yeah.
And with that, even before Telus signing on, they started construction. Because they just realized there's such a viable play for offices to be located close to the Union Station. And so what if you're south of it? And they created the path connection into Air Canada Center, thereby facilitating all the office workers really easy access into it. Now, look at the South Core right now. It's vibrant, there is nightlife, there's activity, and that's where Jurassic Park came out.
Yep.
You know, so that really speaks to the vision that one has. Take another example. Also in the South Financial Core is the Harbor Plaza. Harbor Plaza is not just residential. It actually has an office tower called One York. One York, again, when they started it, is that a lot of people were questionable, wondering, is this South Core really happening? Sure enough, Sun Life Financial moved their head office to One York. That is a great testament that this South Financial Core is alive and well. And our neighbor to the south at Harbor Plaza is Royal Bank of Canada.
Huge.
The third installment of the Water Park Phase 3. And that again speaks to the whole development of the South Financial Core, where the whole vision was to create brand new buildings where a lot of the financial institutions need this high quality, platinum LEED certified buildings, where they have the infrastructure, technology, open plan, floating floors, all these things that the older buildings are not able to provide.
I think one of the things that we always come back to, and it happens again at Sugar Wharf, but one of the things that Menke's do exceptionally well from my side, looking at, on the outside looking in, is they build multifaceted buildings. It's not just about the condominium, but it's about how the condominium, how the commercial,
it's
how the
the linkage of what we call the
in.
mixed use.
Yes.
It's the balancing of mixed use. And mixed use for some people is just residential tower with some shops at the grade level. For Menke's, that is not enough. Because they realize that as investors, when the community develops, you gotta have the components of live, work, and play.
Sure.
The major component is work. A lot of builders could build residential buildings. A lot of builders could leave up some space on the ground floor and make it into retail and jam something in there.
Sure.
But very few in Toronto successfully really integrate the office components, because it takes another level of expertise to really integrate office. Running an office and building office buildings is an art by itself. And that's what Menke's have demonstrated. They're able to do that.
one of the other things I wanted to touch on with Menkes, and you're better placed than anybody to talk about this, and what Menkes, one of the areas that Menkes have really got a great reputation on is after purchase care and customer care when unit handover takes place. Like this is an area where so many developers trip and fall, but this is an area where Menkes have exceeded and are known in the industry as top shelf. It shows with our clients who do their PDIs and go into the suites for the first time. I'd love you to give me 20 seconds on that process.
Well, what Menkes have done is they realize that their mission and the job mandate doesn't stop at just creating, building. It's actually a total service delivery experience. Looking at it from a buyer. And for a lot of buyers, condominium purchase, that may be their first. Doing PDI, they have no idea what to do. And the whole arranging is a very daunting process. And so they have a dedicated customer care team, department, that really looks after, and they're on site. They're not remote, they're on site 24/7. They're there to service their clients, to really walk them through every step of the way. That is the commitment of that whole service delivery experience that Menkes is so key about.
We could talk about Menkes for hours, but the best compliment I can pay them is that they make my client's life easy, and they make my life easy. And that's really the best compliment that I can think of when it comes to developers. Transitioning into the second pillar, which I think is another reason why people are so excited about this Sugar Wharf condominiums, and you've touched on it already, but it is where Yonge and Lakeshore is today, but just where the future is going. You've talked about the commercial and the growth, and it's amazing to think that an intersection like Yonge and Lakeshore has so much potential still. And you talk about where it's going to go, and I know you're deeply entrenched in this, so I'm going to pass.
I live and breathe that every day. Well, when we talk about the Yonge and Lakeshore Queens Quay, that intersection, we have to go back and what we talked about the self-financial core is that again, 5-6 years ago, there wasn't really much there, and you've seen the developments, you've seen the vibrancy. But looking beyond the vibrancy is that a lot of things are already built already, so there's no more room for growth. But where's Toronto? Are we stagnant? No. It's actually moving towards the east on the waterfront. That's why we create this. This is the Toronto downtown waterfront. The downtown is actually moving to the water towards the east side. And we see a lot of activity going. And that's exciting because
and it's the activity that I wanted to talk about because there really is. Like it's not just the residential front, but the commercial side is growing insane.
Yes.
You already mentioned One York as part of Harbour Plaza, but look at the future.
Yes.
What is in the pipeline? Tell us some of the commercial buildings that are...
Pipeline is like fabulous. If you look at this model, what we have right now here, representing on these two white buildings, that is the CIBC Square. First ever, a twin tower. There will be this 1 acre park cantilevered across the rail deck. It's fabulous. Amazing. And that will be the home for CIBC new head office there, global head office. And they'll be moving 15,000 of the workers to these two buildings. Incredible. That's amazing. Now, that's not the end of it. That's just the beginning. Okay? Yeah. And from there, there's also going to be 2 office towers right at the foot of Yonge and Queens Quay. Toronto Star building, that will be totally redeveloped. Yeah. So that is amazing. And also within the Sugar Wharf community itself, Menkes have started construction on the future head office for LCBO. It's around 763,000 square feet, of which LCBO is committed to getting 200,000 square feet to host the new head office. At the base, they will put in a 25,000 square feet of flagship LCBO. It's incredible to think about LCBO having a flagship store, but that's where they really want to showcase the vintages. And it's the new trend in terms of the consumption of alcohol. It's an art in itself. And they really want to express that with a proper flagship expression store. And also moving a little bit more to the east is the Waterfront Innovation Center. Now, this Waterfront Innovation Center is the first
by Menkes.
It's the first ever dedicated innovation center in Canada, period. And this was committed even before the days of Google. Even before the announcement of Google, even before the talk of Amazon shortlisting Toronto as one of the potential sites for their worldwide headquarters number 2, Menkes have been on this innovation path. Menkes have been on this path to really stakehold within the downtown waterfront developments to play a major role in it. And that's the exciting part. When we look at this brand new city model, this is a representation of what the future will be.
Sure.
We know there's no more land to develop. There's no more growth in the South Financial Core. It's all done. But the future growth is moving towards the east and on the waterfront. That is the amazing story. And that's why people are really talking about Sugar Wharf, because they're right in the center of it.
Of the best jobs that Toronto has to offer, the tech jobs and the financial core jobs, you're going to be steps to all of this. And this transitions very nicely into what I think is something that makes this project very, very special. We've talked about a lot of stuff already, but this one piece that really makes this project special, and that's the path connection.
Path connection is paramount.
Huge.
Because you and I know that there's a myriad of different projects.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're bad, but what I'm saying is that when you have this path connection, it makes the world of a difference. Imagine a hot day, you don't have to sweat, and you could just walk to work.
I'm sweating today.
And you don't have to worry about, there's a lot of things, a lot of convenience that we don't really take into consideration, but when you think about it, it is really what defines really luxurious living and having the convenience, and that's what path really signifies, is that you can walk to work in the summer in an air-conditioned experience.
And in the winter?
In the winter, it's going to be heated. Yep. So what we're talking about, this path connection, is what we call the sky bridge. It is elevated, okay, it is fully enclosed. So in the summer, it will be air-conditioned, winter, it will be heated. And you have this protection year-round. Of course, you walk on the street on a nice day, but if you don't want to, you have options. At the end of the day, is that it gives all the residents who are in a path-connected community options, whereas other residents, they don't have the options. And again, Roy, is that when you have options, you value it. And people will see that, and have demonstrated in Harbour Plaza that the rent rates and everything, it is far more superior because of that options.
I was going to say, like, a lot of times when we sell condominiums, one of the things we always talk about is how close it is to the path, because it's such an important feature. But being directly connected is amazing, and we see it on the resale side. Condos with path outperform on a rental, days on market, sale price.
It's more desirable.
For sure.
It's just more
huge
desirable.
Feature. It's a huge feature that you either have or you don't. And very few condominiums have that feature. So.
Absolutely. Within the downtown waterfront, there's only two pieces of property that will have path connection, between Pinnacle and Mancus.
Amazing.
And Mancus have a much bigger tract of land, and they're the dominant player in this entire waterfront developments.
I want to switch again now, waterfront. We've talked about all this stuff. We haven't even talked about this being a waterfront condominium in one of the best cities in the world. Like that alone carries so much weight. So give me a quick rundown on the waterfront aspect.
Actually, when you think about waterfront, where we are in Toronto, the Toronto waterfront, it's not a beachfront.
Correct.
It is actually a composition of the boardwalk, the sidewalk. We're talking about Martin Goodman Trail. And living on the waterfront, what it means to me is that everything that I would want to do in the daily lives, when I do it on the waterfront, it just makes it so much more special. After dinner, go on a stroll with my wife. When you walk on the waterfront, it's just so much more special. On the weekends, I want to go to Center Island. I don't need to pack my bike and drive downtown. Everyone can do that. But when I'm on the waterfront, I'm steps away. And those are the things that really defines spectacular. And in the essence, when you're in the waterfront and you have the path connection, you're not detached from the core. You're not detached from the hub of activity. You're still there. But when you get back to your home, you get a sense of retreat. You get the sense of the ability to really recharge, refuel yourself. In fact, that's what everybody wants. They want to really work really hard because we're in a very competitive environment. Whatever field of industry you're in, you have to work hard to get to where you are.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, you want to have some downtime. You want that relaxation far above anything else. And that's what living on waterfront offers, that refueling opportunity to really break away from it, the sense of retreat, but you don't have to go anywhere, because retreat is when you get home, whenever you get off work. And that is the amazing thing of being on waterfront, is having everything there at your doorstep.
Absolutely. What's amazing to me about this project, we've chatted now for 10, 15 minutes about all this amazing stuff that's happening in the neighborhood, with the path connection, and we haven't even talked about the project yet. And that's kind of what makes this all so special. Like, this is a master plan community. On the next
11.5 acres.
This is the next pillar that we talk about and why people are so excited. It's a master plan development, 11.5 acres. This is Harbour Plaza on steroids.
Yeah,
Everything
to
they've
put
done
it,
at Harbour
yes.
Plaza, they're bringing it over here and improving and making it better,
Yeah.
and making it better.
I often use the phrase that the very DNA, what makes Harbour Plaza great, that is the very foundation of the Sugar Wharf project. So what we have spread over 11.5 acres, if we look at say, okay, let's look at it as the 4 quadrants.
Yes.
One of the quadrants closest to the water is where we have the office.
Yeah.
25 stories of platinum LEED certified building, and it will be the home for the future LCBO head office, and the balance of the density is going to be rent out to multinationals.
Yeah.
Again, what type of companies? Technology, finance, creative arts. We're talking about people who want to be the leader of the industries in Toronto, and those are the industries that is really pushing Toronto forward. On the quadrant that is just north of the office tower, that is the phase 1 of the residential complex. We will put 2 towers there, each about 68 to 70 stories.
Amazing.
Big, 750 units combined in total. We're looking at 1,500 units sitting on top of a podium, and there's going to be multi-floors of amenities.
I was going to touch on the amenities because
There's a huge array of amenities. We're putting everything that we have learned from Harbour Plaza. People want a really nice lobby. Double high ceilings, grand luxurious feel is there. Whether you're coming off the new Extension Street from Harbour Street on the East Tower, or you're coming off Cooper Street for the West Tower, you're always greeted with a very grand lobby. The measure is that we want that wow factor.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that you walk in there and you just respond and say, wow.
the lobby is becoming more and more important in every building.
It is the testament, the test that whether this building has it or not. That's the other defining moments are the amenities that one could enjoy. We're looking at the condominium lifestyle saying, I live in this 4 walls, but I enjoy much more beyond my borders. And that's what we're doing with the amenities. We learned from Harbour Plaza that people like the kids' room. We're doing 2 kids' rooms.
Amazing.
People like the party rooms. We make it even bigger, more modular. People like the courtyards. We make it even bigger. And everything is just so much more. People like the Wi-Fi lounge that we have at Harbour Plaza. We create even bigger space for people to rework and collaborate together. So again, everything that we have learned at Harbour Plaza, so much better. The other quadrant right to the west of phase 1 will be another tract of land that we build a big podium where we'll put 3 towers on there. That'll be phase 2. And in front of that, right bordering onto Queens Quay, we're going to put a 2-acre park.
Amazing.
Now, it's not just a green space. It's an animated park. We introduce retail. We introduce artwork. We introduce water features. Again, that would be the central focus for the entire community, where they could really enjoy the indoor-outdoor space experience and really call that their home. It's very, very...
I love the park feature. I think it's amazing. I mean, if you think about downtown land,
focused.
2 acres in this, we've seen it. There could be 3 towers easily.
Yes.
To gift that back to the community is an amazing.
That's what defines lifestyle. That's what defines quality of life. At the end, the reason why people talk about Sugar Wharf is that not just 11.5 acres. The sheer size is amazing. It's actually what you do with that size. What do you do with that landmass? What do you do to really inject different elements into it to make it so that people say, you know, one day I really want to live here. And one day I can see it, and if I can see it right now, I bet you other people in the years ahead, when it's all said and done, they will also want to rent here, buy from me, rent from me, and if I want to sell it, they could buy. Like it happens.
We've used the word special a lot in this chat, and it really is special. It's not just special for the buyers and the sellers, but even myself and my brother and my team. This is a once in a lifetime kind of project. It's not every day you get to sell a project like this. So this is exciting for us as well. We're excited to bring it to our clients. We think it's an amazing opportunity.
It's a project that really redefines something. It's a project that really defines, you know, every so many years, Mankis will embark on a project that is truly spectacular.
It really is,
We rolled back many years ago, they embarked on a journey called the 4 Seasons Residence.
That's right.
Amazing. And even
to this day,
people talk about all the things that I've put into it. Buka, everything. It's how everything puts together. Let's not forget, 4 Seasons Residence is actually built by Mankis.
Correct.
They didn't just contract out to other people, they actually built it in-house themselves. So all the learnings, all the craftsmanship is part of the DNA now. It doesn't go away.
Well, they're a commercial builder as well, right? So they take all the best
commercial,
practices
residential, and in the interior finishing, it's all Menkes staff that does it. It's not farmed out to other people. And then so that was a defined moment. Harbor Plaza, again another defined moment to really catapult them into another level of understanding of what the city really wants. Now we're at the very beginning, the genesis of this whole unveiling of the downtown waterfront. And that's why the entire company, Menkes, is so proud that they have this opportunity. And truly, it's an opportunity. And think about it, Roy. In the years ahead, you look at the postcard of Toronto, you will see the handiwork. It will forever enshrine into the postcards.
Absolutely.
And
we're changing the postcard right now. That's what we're doing. We are changing the downtown Toronto.
We are adding more and more pieces. We are unveiling more and more of the story. And Toronto is an exciting place because there's so much going on.
I love how passionate you are about the project. It's so clear to see, and
you can't help but that path.
You can't. You really can't.
It's just so exciting.
So we unpacked a lot. We talked about the pillars, the big reasons people are so excited. We talked about Menkes as a developer. We talked about the waterfront connection, the waterfront location with direct path connection. All the future growth in an already amazing location.
Future, I forgot to talk about the technology.
The
infrastructure. Because we realize that we are creating homes, a community for the future. It's important that we understand where the future is going. Now, right now, we talk about 4K TV. We talk about 4K media consumption. Next year, we're looking at 8K. And in the years ahead, we really don't know how many Ks it will be. But what is important is that we realize that the backbone of all the technology is what? Is data. It's talking about bandwidth. We're talking about connectivity. So at Sugar Wharf, we actually inlay fiber optics, multi-strand fiber optics into the entire community, whereby we're really, when you say future-proofing, that's what it really means, is that we give you the backbone, and those are things that you and I, as a layperson, cannot go to Rona, Home Depot, and buy something and just install it. It's not a plug and play. It is an infrastructure that only builders with the foresight could do. And that's the amazing story, is that a lot of people miss that point, is that when I buy into something, I want to make sure that in the 3-4 years down the road when it's completed, it really stands the test of time. I don't want to be able to get into a building and only find out it's outdated. The technology is not there, it's not catching up. And I'd rather be another community or another building than this one. We don't want that to happen. And that's why we're future-proofing this community.
Amazing. So, what did we miss? We talked about the Menkes, we talked about the location, we talked about the commercial growth, all the millions of square feet of new office space that's coming in. We talked about the building itself.
The next step.
What is the next step? So how do
well, I mean, it's great that you're here. Your brother's been spending time here with your clients. It's really allowed the clients to really understand where the future is going. Like, the amazing thing is that I'm not selling one unit. I'm not selling a condo unit. I'm selling the dream of the downtown waterfront. And it's not just a dream, because there are things happening already. The CIBC Square is under excavation. They're in building already. We're building the future LCBO head office already. We're working on the Waterfront Innovation Center already. So a lot of things are happening already. So the buyers, everybody, got to really embrace and understand. You cannot embrace something until you understand it, until you see it. Right now, we have models so they could really have that experience. Personal, upfront, in the center, they could experience this. And the second step would be go down and take a look. Go down and take a look at Harbor Plaza. Challenge yourself. Is Harbor Plaza the real deal? Is there a self-financial core? Are there people working there? Do you see people running back and forth? And not just during the games at Jurassic Park, but actually everyday workers. What type of workers are they? Like, are they construction workers? Or this really the technology, the knowledge workers that we talk about? And if you see all that, go into where Sugar Wharf will be, the current LCBO retail space. Park there, take a look, and then close your eyes. And with close your eyes, you can really envision the office building. You can see people running around, enjoying the space, enjoying the lives, enjoying the community that Menkes have created. Then I think they're really ready. And The next step is to contact you and really work
That's
out
my
the
favorite
budget.
part of
Work out the budget and then work out, because no matter what you buy at Sugar Wharf, you're bound to make money.
I agree.
And true enough, 5 years ago, I talked to a lot of your buyers, and there were some people that didn't believe.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, no, it's not possible. You cannot put this elevator walkway underneath Gardner. They go check it out and say, yeah, it's not doable.
It's funny you say that, because we looked at Harbour Plaza, and we went back in the day when we sold it. The returns our clients have made there are incredible.
Yes.
We were selling it at $570, $600 a foot, and we have emails from buyers saying this is too expensive, this is too expensive.
Yes.
And now we look back and how funny it is, right? Because they've been incredible returns. But we're expecting the same for Sugar Wharf. I think it's an amazing project, and we cannot wait to bring our investors in. I want to thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. It's been an amazing journey. This is the start of this ride. It's amazing.
Sure.
Thank you to be part of this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Johnson.
Roy.
Thank you.